Let me hit you with a strange thought. We act like every tiny thing in life is a massive cosmic event. You forget to reply to a message. Suddenly your brain's like, congratulations, you've destroyed a friendship. You drop your phone? Ah yes, the universe is punishing me. Meanwhile, the same brain that panics over a typo also forgets where it put its own glasses, while they're literally on your head. So today, we're going to break that mental drama machine. We're diving into the nothing matters philosophy. Not the sad, existential, lying on the floor version. The calm, productivity-boosting, sanity-restoring version your brain desperately needs. Okay, let's be honest, you didn't click on a video titled Nothing Matters because your life is perfectly organized and your brain is working like a well-oiled machine. No. You clicked because you've been feeling like your mind is constantly buffering. You know, that spinning loading circle that never actually loads anything? You're tired, not physically, but mentally. The kind of tired where even answering a simple message feels like filling out tax forms. The kind of tired where you wake up with energy, lose it by brushing your teeth, and then spend the rest of the day trying to remember why you walked into different rooms. And the pressure? Oh, it's real. Every decision feels like it's secretly a trap. Every task feels heavier than it should. Every small mistake feels like a catastrophic personality flaw. You overthink everything. Did I say the wrong thing? Should I have spoken differently? Why did I laugh like that? Why did I breathe like that? Does my existence require a patch update? You want to be productive and feel in control, but your brain treats minor tasks like they're epic quests from a fantasy novel. Retrieve the laundry from the dryer, if you dare. And meanwhile, you're scrolling through your phone comparing yourself to people who wake up at 5 a.m., journal in calligraphy, run 6 businesses, drink water infused with the tears of angels, and somehow look flawless doing it. Inside, you just want one thing. To stop caring so intensely about every tiny detail. To breathe without guilt. To make decisions without panic. To feel like life is manageable again. And guess what? You're not broken. Your brain is just overwhelmed. You're here because you want clarity and peace. And you're about to get exactly that. Before we get into what the nothing matters philosophy actually means, let's talk about the biggest mistake almost everyone makes when trying to fix their life. You think the solution is to care more. Feeling unproductive? Let me care harder. Falling behind? Let me panic my way to success. Overthinking? Let me overthink about the overthinking. It's like trying to repair a cracked phone screen by tapping it aggressively. Your intention is pure, your method is chaos. And honestly, most self-improvement advice makes it worse. You've heard the classics. Wake up at 4 a.m. Cold showers change lives. Discipline is everything. Just stop being lazy. Okay, but what if I don't want to become a Navy SEAL at 6 in the morning? What if I just want to complete my to-do list without spiraling into an existential crisis? People tell you to tighten up, care more, push harder. As if you're not already trying. As if you're sitting on a couch thinking, ah yes, my dream is to be stressed and unproductive. Let's be real. You already care too much. That's the whole problem. You care so much it paralyzes you. You care so much you procrastinate because you're scared it won't be perfect. You care so much about people's opinions that you delay your entire life waiting for imaginary approval. And then there's the most useless advice ever. Just stop worrying. Oh wow, Brenda, thank you. I'll just turn off the invisible worry switch that came pre-installed in my software. Most people take the wrong approach because they treat every situation like it has world-ending consequences. One awkward moment becomes a character-defining disaster. One small failure becomes a prophecy of lifelong doom. One comment from someone you barely know becomes a 3-day self-discussion with PowerPoint slides. So the mistake isn't that you don't care enough. It's that you assign importance to everything, like your brain is Oprah handing out emotional weight. You get stress. You get stress. Everyone gets stress. This is why you feel exhausted before even starting. Your brain is in emergency mode for things that aren't emergencies. The truth? Most of the things you're stressed about are temporary, forgettable, or irrelevant. But your brain hasn't learned that yet. That's the mistake we're about to fix. Let's be honest, you're not here because you want to become some philosophy-loving void creature who feels nothing. You're here because you want a break. A break from the constant mental noise. A break from the pressure to get everything right. A break from feeling like every tiny decision is a mini courtroom trial where you're both the defendant and the judge. Deep down, the goal isn't to believe that nothing matters. It's to discover that not everything needs to matter. You want peace. You want space to breathe. You want to try things without the fear of embarrassing yourself into a new dimension. You want to improve your life without feeling like one misstep will destroy the entire timeline. Under all the stress and perfectionism, all you really want is freedom. Freedom from guilt, from overthinking, from imaginary disasters your brain keeps inventing. That's the real point of the nothing matters mindset. To care intentionally, not constantly. So here's where the magic of the nothing matters philosophy actually kicks in, not the dark, emo Tumblr version, but the psychologically cleaner, productivity-friendly, sanity-saving version. The core idea is simple, but it hits hard. Most of the things you stress about don't matter as much as your brain thinks they do. Not because life is meaningless, but because your attention is limited, and your brain is really, really bad at deciding what deserves it. Think of your brain like a toddler holding a megaphone. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels dramatic. Everything feels like it demands your full emotional investment. You send an email? Toddler brain goes. Did you sound too friendly? Too formal? Too passive? Too aggressive? Too alive? You try starting a new habit? Toddler brain. If you fail once, that means you're a failure forever. Good luck. You're about to try something new? Toddler brain. What if everyone judges you? What if you mess up? What if you accidentally offend a distant cousin's imaginary friend? This is what the nothing matters mindset solves. Not that life literally has no meaning, but that not every moment deserves a dramatic soundtrack. Here's the real principle. When you stop treating everything as important, you free up energy for the things that actually are. This sounds simple, but it's quietly revolutionary. Because here's what's happening in your brain right now. You're using high importance on low importance events. You're treating tiny tasks like they're Olympic finals. You're giving emotional weight to moments that don't survive the week. Imagine if your phone sent you a push notification for everything. Battery at 98%. You blinked. You moved the phone slightly. You're alive. Annoying, right? But that's exactly how your brain operates when everything feels heavy. The nothing matters philosophy explained without the existential crisis. When we say nothing matters, we're not saying your dreams, relationships, or values don't matter. We're saying, stop overassigning importance. Stop assuming every mistake will define you. Stop assuming every opinion is life or death. Stop assuming every decision needs hours of mental debate. The truth? Most of the things you worry about will fade in 2 days. Most people don't notice your mistakes. Most experiences matter far less in the long run than they feel in the moment. Life is long. Memory is short. People are busy. And your brain exaggerates. Once you really get this, your entire approach to life shifts. Why this works, the science, but explain like you're a close friend. Your brain has something called a salience filter, it decides what feels important. But here's the twist. The filter is based on your emotions, not logic. So if you're anxious, everything feels important. If you're tired, everything feels overwhelming. If you're stressed, even small tasks feel like boss battles. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. But it's overprotective, like a parent who sees danger in everything. Oh no, don't post that online. People will judge you. Oh no, don't try that new thing. You might be bad at it. Oh no, don't rest. Your future depends on what you do in the next 3 minutes. The nothing matters mindset resets the filter. It reminds your brain. Hey, relax. This isn't a crisis. Hey, it's okay. This doesn't define me. Hey, perfection isn't required. Effort is enough. When your salience filter calms down, suddenly you can think clearly again. Your tasks stop feeling like mountains. Your decisions stop feeling like traps. Your energy returns. You breathe easier. Think of it like zooming out. If you zoom into a painting too closely, it looks like random dots and chaos. Zoom out, and suddenly the image makes sense. The same thing happens with your life. When you zoom in too closely, every minor issue looks massive. One awkward conversation becomes a social crisis. One unproductive day becomes a personality flaw. One bad decision becomes a permanent narrative. But when you zoom out, when you realize that 99% of these moments won't matter in a month, you stop giving your emotional energy to everything. And suddenly, the important things finally have space to grow. The selective caring superpower. Here's the real skill. You aren't trying to care less. You're learning to care better. Not everything deserves your emotional investment. Not everything deserves stress. Not everything deserves your mental bandwidth. Learning to say, this doesn't matter. This matters, but not today. This matters, but not as much as my peace. This matters, but not enough to ruin my mood. That's the superpower. Once you do this, productivity becomes easier. Not because you're working harder, but because you've stopped wasting energy on nonsense. It's the difference between running with a weighted vest and running without one. Your life isn't suddenly perfect. It's just lighter. When you apply this, everything changes. You stop procrastinating because the fear of getting it perfect is gone. You start doing things because the emotional pressure is reduced. You don't hesitate as much because mistakes no longer feel catastrophic. You try more things because fear stops ruling your decisions. You become more confident, not because you're winning more, but because you're not scared of losing so much. You start living boldly, because you're no longer carrying the weight of imaginary disasters. The real prize. Once you internalize the idea that most things don't matter, your mind becomes surprisingly quiet. You have more mental space. You think more clearly. You act more freely. You bounce back faster. You stop replaying every embarrassing moment from 2009 at 2 a.m. And ironically, when you stop obsessing over everything, you start succeeding more often. Less pressure, more action. More action, more progress. More progress, less anxiety. It becomes a self-feeding cycle in the right direction. This mindset isn't about escaping life. It's about finally being present enough to live it. Picture this, it's 11:47 p.m. You told yourself you'd sleep early. But instead, you're lying on your bed, phone inches from your face, staring at the ceiling between TikTok scrolls like you're waiting for it to give you life advice. You replay the same conversation from earlier. Not because it was dramatic. Not because anything bad actually happened. But because your brain is bored and wants to ruin your night for entertainment. Why did I say yeah, totally? Did that sound fake? Should I have said absolutely instead? Your brain pulls out an imaginary notebook. Overthinking checklist, page 537. Then suddenly, your chest feels tight. Your stomach gets heavy. Your mind goes, bro, we might have messed up the entire friendship. Meanwhile, the other person is at home eating chips, not thinking about you at all. You try distracting yourself. Watch a video, check messages, open a random app, but your brain is like, wait, one more catastrophic hypothetical before you sleep. So you switch positions, hold your pillow like it holds the answers, and whisper to yourself, why am I like this? Now imagine the same scene. But with one shift. You're still in bed. The same conversation replays. The same overthinking tries to push its way in. But this time, instead of diving into the spiral, you shrug and think. It's fine. It's a tiny moment in a massive life. Not everything deserves a full investigation. Suddenly, your brain doesn't have fuel. The panic fizzles out. The imaginary courtroom closes. Your mind goes quiet, not because the problem disappeared, but because you stopped giving it VIP access. You scroll a little, laugh at a meme, then actually fall asleep. No emotional hurricane. No mental marathon. Just peace, simple, quiet, almost boring peace. That's the power of shifting from everything matters to only what truly matters gets my energy. Let's turn the nothing matters, chill, philosophy into something you can actually use, something practical, simple, and doable even on chaotic days. Here's your step-by-step method to stop overthinking without needing a motivational speech every morning. Step 1. Label the thought. The moment your brain starts spiraling, don't fight it. Just say, "Oh, this is overthinking mode." Naming the pattern cuts its power in half. It reminds your mind that this isn't a crisis, it's a habit. Step 2. Shrink the moment. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week? A month? A year? Most of the time, the answer is LOL no. This instantly reduces emotional intensity and pulls you out of the microscopic view your brain loves. Step 3. Choose one tiny action. Overthinking thrives on hesitation. Break the loop by doing one small thing: send the message, close the tab, take the first step. Small actions kill big spirals. Step 4. Redirect to reality. Your brain likes imaginary scenarios. Bring it back by noticing something real: your breath, your posture, your surroundings. Not spiritual, just grounding. Step 5. Give the problem a time limit. If it really does matter, don't think forever. Set a 5-minute timer. Think, plan, decide, then stop. A deadline forces clarity. Step 6. Let the rest go. If it doesn't matter, drop it. Say, "Not worth my energy." Repeat until your brain learns the new rule. Follow these steps consistently and your mind starts treating peace like the default, not the exception. Here's a mental hack that actually sticks, a kind of shortcut for your brain to remember: relax, this doesn't matter. I call it the zoom out method. Whenever something feels overwhelming, pause and imagine yourself zooming out, like Google Earth style. Start with your immediate space, your room. Then zoom out to your building, your neighborhood, your city. Keep zooming until you see the whole planet, then the solar system, maybe even the galaxy if you're feeling dramatic. Now, look at that tiny little problem from up there. How big does it feel? Tiny. Minuscule. Ridiculous, even. Your brain suddenly realizes, this isn't a world-ending event, it's just a blip on the radar. The beauty? It's visual, simple, and fun. You don't need meditation apps or philosophical debates, just your imagination. And the more you practice it, the faster your mind shrinks stress automatically. Optional bonus: add a silly mental soundtrack, like a dramatic movie score that suddenly cuts to kazoo music, to make your brain laugh at itself. Humor plus perspective equals stress evaporates. Use this whenever panic rises. It's like mental CPR: revives clarity, reduces drama, and anchors the philosophy in your mind forever. So here's the big takeaway: the nothing matters philosophy isn't about giving up on life, ignoring your goals, or becoming some emotionless robot. It's about freeing your mind from the unnecessary chaos your brain keeps inventing. It's about choosing what deserves your energy instead of letting every tiny thing hijack your thoughts. When you stop letting your brain treat minor mistakes like global disasters, suddenly life feels lighter. You start acting faster, thinking clearer, and even enjoying the process instead of constantly panicking about the outcome. You don't just get tasks done, you get your peace back. And honestly, that's the real win. If this video helped even a little, if your brain just sighed once, stick around. Subscribe, watch the next video, or just take a deep breath and try one of these steps today. Because here's the truth, the world isn't watching, the universe isn't judging, and most things really don't matter. But you do. And that's what counts.